stage and just hang out with you for a minute, because I want to properly introduce myself by sign. See, you just heard from my friend, the Attorney General of the great state of Wisconsin, Brad Schimmel. Will you give him another round of applause? A little bit about what I do, but I wanted to illustrate to you who I am. I'm the Kleefisch part of the sign. And I'll tell you what, the governor so appreciates your support. He is the top of the ticket. Scott Walker is so appreciative of the Hmong community across the great state of Wisconsin. And I know that he wishes he could be with you tonight, and that the only thing that prevents him from being here, of course, is a passing of his father this morning. I hope you all will remember the Walker family before you go to sleep tonight, knowing that they are in mourning, knowing how important family is to your governor, knowing that you are such an important part of the Wisconsin family. How many veterans in this room tonight? One more time. How many veterans? God bless you and thank you for your service. We appreciate you so much because right now there's a sheet of paper that has gone out to a whole bunch of these tables, and I know you guys are talking about it, and I know you guys are wondering what exactly is it that is in front of me right now. The veterans in this room understand that whether it was secret or not, one of the most sacred things you fought to protect was freedom. And one of the freedoms that we hold so dear as Wisconsinites and as Americans is our freedom of speech. And one of the most important things we can exercise on November 6th, Election Day, is our freedom of speech, ladies and gentlemen. And we get to tell the world that when we choose opportunity. We choose prosperity. We choose an exceptionally bright future for the young people of Wisconsin. We had so many eloquent speakers here tonight, but there are still some people who are not in this room, who I have had the opportunity and pleasure to get to know over the last number of years. And Senator Petrowski has been the one to introduce me to a lot of them. Perhaps even the first one, although maybe it was a visit to Wausau where Jerry wasn't even with me. Maybe I was just on a campus of North Central Technical College meeting with their board when I had the opportunity to meet a bright woman named Lee Lowe. Some of you probably know Lee, because she is an extraordinary entrepreneur. But she wasn't always. If you think back 42 years ago, you know that the very beginning was quite difficult. You all had to blaze a trail. Lee was one of the ones that blazed a trail in Wausau and continues to blaze a trail today just because of her story. Lee was 14 years old when she left her refugee camp and was told she was going to America. She was delighted because at the time, all she knew of America was the photographs that she had seen. And there were about two. She saw a photo of a beautiful field of flowers in the summertime. And she saw a photo of the Statue of Liberty. When Lee Lowe got off the airplane, it was January in Wisconsin, and she was wearing flip-flops, anticipating that beautiful field of flowers, ladies and gentlemen. There was no field of flowers, and Lee was wearing flip-flops in the snow. That was the first of her tough introductions to America. Because, see, by the time she began high school, a cultural norm was completely unfamiliar to her classmates. Lee began her life as a mother and a wife when she was still in high school. She struggled with the English language, and she struggled with the children teasing her. But Lee persisted. Because of good educators, she found one who would tutor her in English, and she learned well. Lee Lowe eventually went on to go to North Central Technical College, and she graduated. Today, Lee Lowe owns her own personal care nursing service and has dozens of employees. Not to mention the fact that she sits on the Technical College board. She's an incredibly respected member of the Wausau economic community. But you know who else is? A guy I met a couple years ago at an economic development event. Brad had mentioned that I do a lot in economic development. One of the chief concerns of the governor and me when we were very first elected was making sure we had enough jobs in Wisconsin for the people. Ends up we got so successful that today our big concern is making sure we have enough people for the jobs. That's actually one of the challenges that Cooley faces today. I met Cooley at a Wausau Chamber event. Now strike that, because the business community among the Hmong population of Wisconsin, 50,000 strong, is statewide. This event was in Milwaukee, the statewide Hmong Chamber of Commerce. And it was an awards assembly, and he got up there to accept the award for Business of the Year. And Koo said his thank yous, including to his father, Jay Lee, who had started the company that Koo now runs. JC came to Wisconsin, to the United States, and started a sewing company. Today, he sews so many of the boots that you can buy at Farm and Fleet and at Menards and some of the nicest shoe stores across the country. All made in Marathon County, Wisconsin by LJ. But Koo got up there, yeah, absolutely. Bunch of people, including his dad, and then he said, shockingly, "I love the government." I don't think I have ever heard anyone say that in my entire life. And so I said, as soon as he got off the stage, I turned to Mainza, who runs the Hmong Chamber, and I said, I gotta meet that guy. And then I gotta go tour his company, because any guy who says he loves the government is a guy I gotta be friends with. And sure enough, when I went, his biggest challenge was making sure he had enough workers to meet his customer demand. That is how successful this company is, because it is run by a bright entrepreneur who just happens to be a leader in the Hmong community. You know, when I heard a little bit about education earlier, it also helped me to reflect on the fact that we are raising our next generation of entrepreneurs in the Hmong community across Wisconsin. See, I have been to the Hmong American Peace Academy, and I will tell you that Chris Herzog is amazing. See, today, she takes a 98% rate of English as a second language learners, and almost the same for her population of students who are free and reduced lunch. And she turns that into a 100% high school graduation rate at the Hmong American Peace Academy. And that is extraordinary. And that is our future. As long as you continue to invest in it, as long as you are willing to make your political speech known, as long as you care enough to vote, as you care enough to tell your friends, as you care enough to tell your neighbors, that behind each one of those entrepreneurs was the support of Governor Scott Walker. Behind each one of those young people who are graduating from the Hmong American Peace Academy was the support of Governor Scott Walker. Behind the Hmong Chamber, which every year gets a $100,000 investment from our Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation, was Governor Scott Walker. I was pleased this past summer to visit something similar, an international marketplace, except in Milwaukee, when the Hmong American Chamber, as well as the American Indian Chamber, received a $250,000 grant from Wells Fargo for the entrepreneurs of the future. Because from the Hmong community in Wisconsin are the entrepreneurs in the future. We appreciate you for what you have done for Wisconsin's economy. We appreciate you for what you have done to preserve our freedom here and around the world. And we appreciate you for your political speech, because it's important. You fight every day to preserve it, and you have an outstanding opportunity coming up. Governor Walker appreciates you. He said he couldn't be here, but please know that he considers you a very special part of the Wisconsin family. May God bless you.